NNRG.
So the game for today is The Trap Door, and other than it being a show from the UK, I have virtually no idea what we're getting into here. Because I'm in Canada, and I know Canada and Europe, there's some connections, not as many as you might think. So a lot of the television programming they have in the UK and other parts of Europe, yeah, we generally don't get it here. So not that we don't get anything, but I'm just delaying the inevitable. Let's start this up here. It's tape file. So yeah, from what I understand, this was a television show, but I don't know really anything about it. Like I saw some screenshots of the game, and oh, we're already in here. So the world famous dynamic duo presents presents Trapdoor. And this is an old crack from the looks of it. But yeah, just based on what I saw of the screenshots, it almost seems like this might have been a children's show, but then maybe not? It can be hard to tell sometimes with UK programming. So let's move on from here. Probably going to do some more loading here. Well, it's a tape file, so it should already be... Yeah, here we go. So... got the trapdoor, and probably that's the titular trapdoor right there, I'm guessing. And I think we were playing as the big blue monster right next to the logo. Not the cyan monster, but the blue one. And I'm kind of a little surprised that I'm not hearing any, like, there hasn't been any music or sound so far. So do we hit a button to move on? Oh, it's spacebar. Okay. So we got some music going here, and it looks like we can play either with the keyboard or with the joystick. So it looks like there's controls to move around, and then a drop and a tip. Okay, so something I should probably be mindful of is the fact that there's only one fire button on the joystick, right? So there's going to be some kind of extra control, or we might have to use the keyboard to differentiate between whatever drop and tip is. So I guess start it up, the S key, choose to be a learner Burke or a super Burke. Learner Burke? Okay, so here we are. The controls aren't doing anything. Okay, so I just had to restart everything because for some reason I didn't have any joystick control, and I fixed it by doing nothing. I swear, computers sometimes just... as much as I know how computers work on the inside, sometimes they just don't. And then it's just really confusing. Anyways, now that I actually have joystick controls working, let's try this again. Be a learner, Burke. Okay, I can actually move now. Holy jeez. Okay, so I can, like, turn around. I can do this, whatever that is. And if I'm turning this way, oh, I can move into the background. So there's kind of a 3D thing going on here. Oh, we're getting a message? I can't read that. Or, wait, it's like sort of coming into focus. It said, Burke, get me a can of worms. Okay, so I'm guessing we gotta go down the trap door to find a can of worms or something? Oh. Well, a bunch of worms already came out. So do we just... Oh. Now what? You silly, suicidal little Burke, what? Did I just die? Okay, this game's apparently not messing around. See, and that's the thing, too. These look like children's show graphics, almost. Except we just had a reference to suicide. That's not something I would expect out of children's programming. Okay, so we're at this point again. Apparently this seems to be how it always goes, so I'm going to get a can of worms. And trying to... Okay, so the trapdoor's open. Like, how do we go down here properly? Do we just, No, that's not how you do it. Okay, so this game doesn't actually have a manual. Because it's a cassette-based game, it's just a couple little pages of dialogue on the cassette insert. And it doesn't really explain much about what's going on. Although it seems to make reference that the monsters come out of the trapdoor, and then you have to either get them back into the trapdoor or use those monsters that come out to complete your tasks. So that seems to be what might be going on here, is that maybe we're not supposed to go down the trapdoor, we're supposed to open it, the monsters come out, in this case the worms that we need, and then we have to like collect the worms. So there's probably more rooms that we can go through outside of this room here. So, okay, so the line's coming in now, get a can of worms. So my guess is that we literally need to get a can and put some worms in it that come out from this trapdoor here. So yeah, see, some worms come out. So we'll now close the trapdoor. And can we actually pick them up, or maybe I need the can first. Oh no, wait, I picked one up. Okay, so maybe we should go find a can or something, because I can move screens here, and then if we continue going this way, we're going to find, well, at least the game is indicating when you can go up and down. Probably don't want to go down there right now, but it's certainly an option. Then on this screen, I'm guessing we can go up this way. Whoop. Did that little yellow monster just eat the worm I was carrying? Okay, that's somewhat inconvenient. Oh, this only just goes up here. So what if we hit this thing? Okay, that activates some kind of lift. So my guess is that's how we deliver the can of worms once we actually have a proper can with worms in it. Well, there doesn't seem to be much else going on up here. Okay, so let's try going up into that upper section there. So we'll have to hit this, which is going to lift... Oh, wait. Do I have to keep pressing it to continually lift it up. And then we gotta go through here. Well, okay, it closed behind us, so that's kind of inconvenient. But let's see what we got up here. Okay, well, we got some sort of red things on the ground. They look like pots for plants. Can I pick them up? Can't seem to do anything with these pots. So maybe nothing to do on this screen. So let's continue moving on. See what we got going on with this location that we're in. Yeah, this is an interesting room. This seems to have all manner of potential things to use. So I'm thinking the can might actually be that particular object in the background that's can-shaped. This thing right here. So can I pick this up? I can. Actually, here's the better question. How do we get out of this situation? Because this looks like it's probably in the way. Oh, it's actually not. So what is the purpose of it then if it's not actually blocking anything? Do we use it to like smash monsters or something? Like maybe. So we'll drop the can for now. And I guess we're just going to have to open the trap door and get some more worms. Yep, like those. It's because of how big your character is. It's actually... Hey, don't eat the worms. I need those. Okay, the little yellow thing keeps eating all the worms. Okay, we got one over here. Let's pick up the worm. Come on. How do we... Like, I'm a little confused as to what the pickup command actually... Well, I got it there for a second, but then I immediately dropped it. Okay, we got a worm. I mean, it kind of looks like the worms in the can. No, it's not. It's just... the yellow monster's already eaten it again. Oh boy. Now let's see if we can actually put it in the can. Okay, that actually worked. It made a sound effect. And I have a funny feeling I'm not going to be able to get that worm before it gets eaten, so I'm just going to open the trapdoor, pull some more worms out. Oh wait, there's a room over here, which is where I was before. Well then, now that I know that I can take a shortcut over here. Okay, so to pick up objects, you just have to run into them. Yeah, like that. I didn't push the fire button at all. Okay, well I got a can with 3 worms in it. I don't know how many worms I gotta put in this can for it to be a full can of worms, but you could just try it like this. So if we put the can in the thing here. Yep, sitting there nice and snug. So let's go up here, put the lever, push the lever, and see if this does the trick. Cause I'm not really sure what else to try. Well, we got a message coming in. Lovely worms, well done, Burke. Okay, I actually did a good job. Anyways, so he wants some fried eggs. Wait, what? I mean, I semi-understand what's going on with this, except for the... Whoa. What is that? That is not a monster that... Whoa. Okay. We have a monster breathing fire. This is probably okay. Except for the fact that I don't know how we're gonna get eggs out of this thing. Okay, that was weird. I think the monster just teleported me? Okay. Okay, so my theory here is that maybe we gotta smash this monster. So I'm gonna go over to this lever here. I'm gonna raise this block, and then maybe we can, like, smash the monster with it. He's probably gonna teleport me, though. Yeah, that doesn't help. Oh, you know what? It seems like anytime you get hurt is when you end up teleporting. Like, maybe we just need to get rid of this monster that came out. Like, maybe this really isn't a monster that's gonna help us. Okay, maybe we should, like, try to goad this monster back into the trapdoor. Because maybe it's not a monster that we actually want here. The monster's gonna go over top of the trapdoor. And then I can raise it up. But he's not using the lever. I was right there. Why wouldn't he use the lever? By the way, something I should point out by this point is that the controls are incredibly unresponsive. Like, I can hold the up direction and it will take, like, a surprising amount of time before my character here will actually move up. Okay, well, I got transported over here again, so maybe we'll just make another attempt at smashing this monster. So, use the lever. Why won't... Okay, there he goes. You have to be in such an incredibly precise position. So, get out of the way of that. Is it gonna fall? Like, how do you get the block to fall? Well, it did there, but it didn't crush him. Okay, so I tried reading some more information about this game online. It's actually been quite a number of minutes since the last footage you saw now. And the thing is that there's, like, no information about how to get rid of or deal with monsters that you don't need for a particular task. Like, apparently, to get eggs for doing this fried eggs task, we literally need to find a bird monster. But I can't get a bird monster now because I've got this thing that came out of the trapdoor that I have to deal with. And the issue I'm facing here is that the game, the manual, like everything online, nothing tells you how to deal with monsters that you don't want to have around. So I'm totally lost as to what I'm supposed to do in this situation. I mean, one thing I did read is that the skull back there is actually supposed to be like a hint guide, so maybe if I pick up the skull, it'll tell me how to get rid of this monster? Wrong creature. Well, yeah, I knew that. You won't tell me how to get rid of it? Okay, well, I did manage to prove that you can flatten the monsters right there, but it didn't flatten the right monster. This is probably all academic by this point, because that meter at the side of the screen has been going up. That's actually our time limit. It's supposed to be like the anger meter of the whatever it is that's been ordering Burke around here. So as soon as that maxes out, we run out of time. But, like, I mean, come on, step under the block so you can get smashed. Please? Okay, step under the thing. And it doesn't matter, we're out of time. So he says, too late, I've changed my mind. And... oh, that doesn't actually end the game. Interesting. Although we still have this monster to deal with. So... that's... even though the game's not over, we're still kind of in a bind here. I want a bottle of Eyeball Crush. So my guess is that there's going to be eyeballs somewhere. I think something in here actually has eyeballs in it. Like, I'm not 100% certain, but let's see here. Let's try maybe the basket at the back. Maybe it's a basket of eyeballs. Oh, you know what? I'm just thinking now. We had the drop and the tip buttons. Maybe tip means like to tip something over? So we picked this up. I don't know which key it was to... okay, that was the drop key. So let's see, which one of these is actually... oh! Okay, so we do have to use the keyboard to some extent if we're playing with the joystick. The only trick is that doesn't look like an eyeball. In fact, I have no idea what that is. So my guess is that if we want to take out this monster, we've got to somehow goad it into the spot under the block, but at the same time also stop it from moving at that spot. And it seems to be incredibly particular about this spot. But we're probably really close, so let's get it a little further. Nope. Maybe it needs to be down a space. So move down one tile. No, that didn't do it. I'm gonna wait right here, because I got a funny feeling it's very close to being squished here. There we go. Okay. That worked. We managed to defeat a monster we didn't need. And now I don't have to worry about it. Unless another one comes out of the trapdoor. Oh boy. Oh wait. There's that bird that we needed from earlier. But unfortunately, I don't think we need a bird for... oh, this thing's now saying plant pots? What? Well, in any event, we needed crushed eyeballs, and this basket here was clearly not eyeballs. So maybe the other container up there is eyeballs? So we'll grab the cup here. And then... let's see if we can tip it. That gave us birdseed. Well, actually, this might not be birdseed. It might actually be seed for the pots. Because it was making reference to the plant pots, right? So let's actually go over there. So to get to the plant pots, we want to go up this way. And then go over to the left. Because, yeah, we saw those 3 pots before. So maybe we have to grow the eyeballs that we need? That seems kind of a silly way to do it, but then this entire premise is kind of silly, so... okay, so do we tip the seed into the... I think that worked. It produced the sound effect. So let's do it over here as well. So get lined up and tip it. And oh yeah, we got plants growing now. Cool. Although we've only got the one plant growing from the looks of it. So maybe there's only enough seed in this thing to grow like one plant. Well, actually, just to test something here, so one thing I did read about when I was trying to look up some information is that if you drop something on top of the trapdoor, like right there, then the next time you open the trapdoor, it actually will skyrocket that thing into the air. Yeah, like that. And the way you get eggs from the bird is apparently... Oh, there goes that seed. The way you're supposed to get eggs from the bird is to actually launch things into it from below. Okay, so can we get some more seed from this now that we've gotten rid of the one that we used? Nope, it's empty now. I guess if we want to grow more plants, we gotta, well, maybe harvest the plants that we're growing. Oh, we do have an eyeball here now. Okay. We've got an eyeball. Can we pick it up? We can. So the trick was that he wanted a crushed eyeball, or eyeball crush. So my guess is we probably... Do we want to just crush it directly, or do we want to put it in like the pot or something? Well, given how long this has been going for, I think maybe we're just going to try to crush it directly and see what happens. Okay, well, I did crush the eyeball, but there doesn't seem to be anything left behind, so that was probably the wrong thing to do. Oh, wait a minute, there was like a small eyeball here. I couldn't, like, see it before. It was, like, on the... Must have been on the ground behind the flower pot. Does that mean there's another one? Well, I'm carrying something. Yeah. Are there more? Do we have, like, unlimited eyeballs now? No, that was the only two. And once again, the person's changed his mind, doesn't want his eyeball crush. So that was the trapdoor. Here's the thing. This game... doesn't seem like it's a terrible game. Like, I mean, what's going on here has a lot of creativity to it. The idea being that you're trying to fulfill these demands, but at the same time, the way you get to that fulfillment has a number of steps involved. It isn't just a straight pick this item up and put it somewhere. There's like other things that you have to do to complete what is required of you. The trouble is that the game does a really terrible job of not only explaining how to accomplish what you need to do, but at the same time presents you with situations where you can be really stuck, like really stuck, as to how you're supposed to progress. Or worse, you end up with a monster that gives you no help whatsoever, and then in order to get more monsters up, you gotta somehow get rid of that monster you just suddenly pulled up from the trapdoor that you don't need. And the other thing too is a part of me feels like that maybe watching the show would actually give some better context as to how these tasks are performed, because maybe in the show some of this stuff actually happens. Like, I don't know, I've never seen the show. I didn't even know the show existed until I started looking up the details for this game. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is that the game doesn't come across as bad, but it doesn't come across as something you can just sit down and play. This is something where you've pretty much got to dedicate a large amount of time just to figuring out how it works before you can really get anywhere with it.